Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Welcome to Football Manager 2018. Welcome to the series that is Behind Enemy Lines. Now, as you know, I'm an avid fan of Tottenham Hotspur. Been going since 1994, man and boy. So we are at the Emirates. We are taking over the Arsenal, and when I say we, I mean we are taking over the Arsenal. You'll see in a second after the intro.
And it's Tony Adams put through by Steve Bold. Would you believe it? That sums it all up.
So, Arsenal Football Club, a decorated history. Runners-up in the Champions League in 2006. They lost to Barcelona, obviously, if you'll remember rightly. Arsenal have also won the Premier League title 13 times over their illustrious history, most recently in 2004, so they've not won the league title for a long time for Arsenal's perspective. FA Cup winners as recently as last year, so they have a decorated history. They've won a lot of trophies. They've probably won more than Tottenham have, to be fair to them. We see that Champions League runner-up in 2006. They were so close to winning it. Jens Lehmann was sent off in the final, and it all fell apart from there, really, for them. So what are the ambitions for this series? Well, the ambition is to get Arsenal back to the top. That is obviously the aim of every Football Manager series. In particular, it's going to be quite poignant for us, because obviously you've got me in charge as a Spurs fan. The backroom staff are also... Are they Tottenham legends? Some of them are, some of them aren't. Let's meet the team. So first up, in the director of football role, you have Tottenham's record appearance maker, Stevie Perryman. 65 years old. He was the director of football at Exeter, so he is used to that role. I try and put square pegs in square holes. You know, not be too outlandish, because at the end of the day, we don't want to get sacked. That would be the worst thing to happen to the series, because it will be over rather quickly. So he is in charge of bringing the players in. I have taken a hands off totally to show no bias whatsoever. So he will be bringing the players in. The only thing that I'm in charge of are the loans. I don't want all the kids loaned out. We want to try and use them if we can. So yeah, welcome aboard, Stevie P. Captain Fantastic. We welcome a defensive stalwart of the 1990s at Tottenham, Colin Calderwood. Now, Colin is an assistant manager, has been for many other managers as well. He's been at Birmingham, Norwich, he was at Tottenham for a time as well, Brighton, most recently with Steve Bruce at Aston Villa. He has been brought in as the assistant manager. Good stats, good coaching ability, so he'll do quite well, hopefully. Let's see who's next. Next in is goalkeeping coach Tony Parks. Now, again, another player who has a synonymous history with Tottenham. Saved the penalty that won us the 1984 UEFA Cup against Anderlecht. Was also at Tottenham under Martin Jol. He's been at Norwich and Aston Villa as well. So welcome, Tony. Good with the youngsters, good with the goalkeepers. Obviously, that's key. You need a goalkeeping coach. So yeah, Tony Parks was the obvious choice. The next man in is Nicky Bombay. Now, Nicky Bombay was one of our youth prospects. He came through into the first team in the early 1990s. Stayed till about 96, 97. Then went on to Everton, Liverpool, Leeds, I think he went to as well. And Hull was where he eventually ended his career. He took over as manager of Hull in 2012 for a short time. Hasn't managed since, but does want to in the future. That's one of his goals. Good coach. Again, great stats, so he's going to be alright, hopefully, for us. So yeah, we're assembling a good coaching team. Let's have a look at the next one. The next man, Chris Perry. Now, Chris Perry wasn't with us very long. He was only with us for about 3 seasons. Came from Wimbledon in about 1998, I think, when the year they got relegated. He came to Tottenham, so he was there for a couple of years. Was at Millwall as their under-18s. He's been brought in as a proper coach because they've kept all of the youth team coaches for Arsenal. I thought it was important to keep the cohesion and to keep the continuity with who they already have going forward, so the youngsters keep developing at the rate they are. So I've only changed the first team coaches. Chris Perry, the next man in. One more to come. Last but certainly not least, Darren Caskey. Now Darren Caskey, again, another youth team player who came through the ranks at Tottenham. Was only there for a couple of years. Again, we used to change managers quite a lot in the 1990s, so he kind of just got left to one side. He got injured and was out for quite a while, and then never really made his way back in. Not the greatest of coaches, but he has got time to develop. Obviously, he's a Continental B licence, so he's no mug. So he'll certainly get into it. He is not the last of the coaches. He's the last of the coaches we have so far. There is Paul Robinson, who is going to be the other goalkeeping coach if he accepts the offer. So yeah, we've assembled a good team. It's Spurs players. It's not Spurs legends. There are a couple of legends in there. Obviously, Stevie Perryman is the greatest legend that we have. So, we've taken a look at the staff. Let's take a look at the players who I'm interested in working with, who I think are going to make an impact. There's only really one place to start when you're talking about players who are going to make an impact. It has to be the biggest signing that Arsenal have ever made. Alexandre Lacazette, who all of you know transferred to Arsenal this summer just gone. Finishing at 17, first touch of 16, technique of 16. Hasn't been used quite so much in real life. Arsene Wenger's holding him back for some reason. He's only been making a few substitutes appearances. He is scoring when he's coming on. He's an influential player in the dynamic system, the new dynamic system for FM18. He is going to be a key man for me. He's going to lead the line. Most certainly Olivier Giroud is obviously there as well as a backup. But Lacazette, if he doesn't start the game more often than not, I'll be very surprised. And the next man, Aaron Ramsey. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I've been looking forward to this one. I've wanted to work with Aaron Ramsey on Football Manager for such a long time. Obviously, I'm generally the manager of Tottenham or a team that he doesn't want to play with. So I'm delighted to be actually finally working with him. He's making his way back. I think, obviously, after the injury that he suffered against Stoke a few years ago when he broke his leg, it took him a while to find his feet. He is finding his feet again. First touch of 15. Natural fitness, we're going to be using a lot of up and down technique, vision. He is that man in the centre of the park that can make things happen for Arsenal, and I am so happy he's here, and I'm so happy to be working with him. And a lot has been made of this guy, an Arsenal player that they bought in the summer, on a free transfer, believe it or not, is Said Kolosnic. I hope I've said that right. I think it's Kolosnic. If I'm not, please tell me. But I think I've got it. Testing yourself out in the first episode, that's great, isn't it? So, a defensive fullback. I actually thought he was a winger. So, I'm surprised by that. He is a defender, but he can play the wing-back role. Should we decide to play three at the back, he can play the fullback role as well. 24 years of age, Bosnian international. Great stats. Physically, he is a beast. That's phenomenal for 24 years of age. He's got good technical ability as well. Mentally, he's not too bad in the mental department. He could improve some areas, but overall, happy with that. Delighted he's joined Arsenal. Looking forward to working with him. And I thought I'd have a look at some of the youth team players as well. Now, this guy is just going to be known as Eddie, because it's Eddie, Eddie, Eddie. Plus, his surname, I'm not even going to have a go at it. 18 years of age, a striker, finishing of 13, pace of 15, will play predominantly probably in the Carabao Cup, might make the Europa League squad as well. That's generally what's probably going to happen to most of these Arsenal youngsters. They're going to get some game time, believe me. This guy will get some, most definitely. Guy Reece Nelson. Again, another good prospect, can play the wide positions. Good technical stats. Only 17 years old. I thought he was a bit older than that. So he will play, obviously, again in the Carabao Cup. Might make the Europa League squad. We'll see what's what. Because obviously you've got to have a certain amount of English players, and Arsenal don't have an awful lot of them. So he might have to make the squad. Pace of 14, acceleration of 14. He's going to be quick down the wings, which is good. So we want to play some quick football. So yeah, Reece Nelson, look out for him. One for the future, definitely. And lastly, we've got Jeff Rene Adelaire. Again, if I've said it wrong, please let me know in the comments. You know what I'm like with names, I'm not very good at them. Again, another pacey winger, pace of 14. Finishing could be better, but he's only 19 years old, so we've got to cut him a little bit of slack. Acceleration of 14 as well. Good stats. Nothing screams out, but again, he will develop over time. He will, again, another player that will probably get some game time in the Carabao Cup and in the Europa League if we need to pick him. Potential to be a 4.5 star player, so he is there. He has got that potential. Let's hope we can bring it out of him. And Stevie Perryman, don't hang around. Let me tell you, he has already made an offer for his first player, Aurelio Ramsey of Southampton, defensive midfield player, which we might need, I'm not entirely sure. But he is in charge of the transfers. It is nothing to do with me, so blame him if anything goes wrong. No, I'm joking. Yeah, so that's interesting. He's already off and running. Obviously, as I said at the beginning of the video, any loan offers that come in for players, I will deal with those because I do not want everybody out on loan. We're not Chelsea. Just saying. So there we have it. Episode 1 is done. Everything has been explained. So I'm in charge. I've got Tottenham legends around me to help me do what we need to do. The revolution has begun. If you have liked today's video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already and you would like to do so, please click the subscribe button. If you would like to follow me on the Twitter handle is there, Football Man Zone. Also, don't forget to leave a comment if I've mucked up any of the players' names. I do apologise. It will be a theme that will go throughout the series, I'm sure, as it usually does. That was episode 1 of Behind Enemy Lines. We have arrived at the Emirates. The revolution has begun. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.